Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Matt Bogosian. I'm a real estate agent with Real Broker right here in the Middle Tennessee area. My YouTube channel is primarily focused on what it's like to live here in the Middle Tennessee area and about the community, the people, and of course, the housing market. So that leads me to my video today, where I want to give you guys an update about the housing market in Williamson County, Tennessee. If you're not familiar with Williamson County, it is a pretty large county south of Nashville. It's really well known for being a really phenomenal place to live, and it happens to have a pretty good and thriving housing market. So in today's video, I'm going to go over 3 different sets of data for you. We're going to look at active listings and active inventory and see what's going on with that. I've got a program called Altos Research where I pull that data, and I'll share that screen with you here momentarily. And then we're also going to look at sold inventory and under contract inventory. And I think between all 3 of those, we can kind of get a good understanding of what the housing market here is like and what's happening. So why is this important for you? Well, if you're somebody that's looking to move here to Middle Tennessee and to the Williamson County area, I think it's important you understand if it's a seller's market or if it's a buyer's market. I think it's important to understand how much leverage you have and what you're going to need to do to be able to buy a home. That's really important. Some people see national headlines sometimes about things, and they assume that that means it's happening everywhere, and that's not always the case. So it's good for you to see very localized data about the housing market you are looking at. And then if you live here in Williamson County, I think it's important because you really need to know about the most likely the biggest asset that you own, which would be your home. I think it's important to kind of keep tabs on the housing market and just know what's happening. So let's try to dive in now to the data. I'm going to share my screen. This is, let me see if I can pop this up. I don't like that one. Let's do this one. Okay. So this right here is called Altos Research, and this website is focused on just active inventory in the marketplace, and specifically the last 7 days of active inventory. So why is that important? Well, if we can keep tabs on what's happening with active inventory, I feel like that's really going to give us the best insight into what's happening today, right now. And that's really important. I mean, think about the basic economic theory of supply and demand. And I really think if we look at what's happening with active inventory, that can help us understand the supply and demand and know if it is going to be a buyer's or a seller's market. So, as you guys can see right here, they have what is called a market action index here on the left. And basically what they did is they figured out a way to take all this data right here on the right, which, let me remind you, this is all active inventory data from the last 7 days. So this isn't like the last 30 days like you see a lot of times. This isn't the average over 30 days. It's just from the last 7 days for single family homes. They take all this data and they figured out how to come up with a score. And you see that on the bottom or here on the left. And it can help tell us if it's a seller's or a buyer's market. And basically, it really becomes a buyer's market when that score hits a 30 or less. And as you can see right now here in Williamson County, the score is a 42. So let's look at some of this data right here on the right. You've got the median list price right now of active listings in Williamson County over the last 7 days. I just want to stress that is almost $1.4 million. You see the price per square foot, the average days on market, average days on market can be a little bit deceiving because we have a lot of new construction inventory out there. And a lot of times the builders will put those on the market long before they're ready to sell. So they'll have very elevated days on market. And it's just important you guys see that. So really the median days on market is probably going to be a better number and a little more accurate. And right now it's showing 56 days. And that feels about right. I actually had my personal home listed on the market, and I think we got under contract after about 35 days. And we had really good activity, and it actually ramped up towards the end. So expect a home to be on the market anywhere from 35 to 56 days, and that's really not out of line with what we're seeing. You see the percentage of active listings that had price decreases, and it's showing 21%. That means basically for every 10 active listings out there, 2.1 are having price decreases. We've got 5% that had price increases. So that's probably those new construction homes that have been on the market a long time. They probably are the ones that are accounting for those. We've got 21% that are relisted. And then we've got total active inventory right there at 773. Median rent, I don't know that y'all care about those. So, all right, so let's just scroll down quick. I'm going to eliminate from this graph the 7-day average. So now we're looking at the 90-day average for the median list price of active inventory here in Williamson County. The 90-day average is a little better for us to be able to spot trends. If you notice, if I go to the 7-day average, look at it's kind of all up and down, although you can still kind of see the trend. But the 90 days is going to be a little bit smoother. And it's really interesting. This report goes back to 2019. Look at the jump in the median list price where we peaked in 2022. It came back down and it's really smoothed out. And as you can see, it's kind of trickling up. It's trickling up. So that's just, it's important for you guys because if you're looking to buy a home here, this is what active listings are priced at now. So it's good for you to see that. So if we click this box right here, I also want to say to you guys, if you'd be interested in getting this report delivered right to your email every single week, I can set you up on that. And I can set you up for a specific city in Williamson County as well. So just let me know below, or if you want to shoot me a text, my number's in the description and I can get you that. Let's look at the median days on market. That's another one I'm kind of interested in. Look at that. What an interesting graph going back. So it does look like it's increasing. It's just slowly, it's stepping up. It's coming up. I have a feeling we won't go down as far right here. And this is going to continue to go up. So as these days on market start to increase, that's going to start to put a little bit of downward pressure on prices. But there is one problem that I'm seeing right now, and that's going to be inventory. Let me get rid of that 7-day. Inventory still continues to be stubborn. We just don't have enough, and that is putting upwards pressure on prices. So you can see how low inventory got in 2021 and 2022. It shot back up when this is right when those interest rates came up right here. You can see where it just shot up, and now it's kind of held steady. And, right now, right here we are in March, and the 90-day average of active inventory is at 739 active listings. And it's just not enough. If you look back to 2019 levels, here is April of 2020, and we had 949. And then this is right before, and this is in 2019 in April, and it was at 813. So like we're still far below, I don't want to say far, but we're a good ways below what we were pre-pandemic. We'll see if that starts to inch its way up, but for now, you see where we're at. Okay, one more part of this report I want to show you before we move on to the under contract and sold data is these market segments here at the bottom. So basically, what Altos Research has done is they've taken all the active listings and they've divided them equally into 4 groups according to price. So each of these groups represents approximately 25% of the data. And this is important because different price points are going to react differently and have different data in the marketplace. And we need to be able to just see what's happening in those price points. There's different demand for homes in the $3 million range versus homes in the $500,000 range. And I think right here, if you look, and this is interesting. So look at that bottom one. Median price of that bottom set of data is $672,000. Median square footage is 2,410. Median lot size right here. Median bedrooms, bathrooms, age. So there were approximately 21 new active homes that came on the market in this price range. Look how many got absorbed. That means these got put under contract, 37. And that really does go in line with what I'm seeing. These lower price points are just selling like fire. It's crazy. So you've got that right here, and then you've got your days on market. The next price range is right over $1 million, which is really like the meat of the houses in the Williamson County market. I was talking to another real estate agent yesterday, and I feel like that 800 to 1.3 price range has really slowed down, in my opinion. I feel like at one point, that's all I was selling in was that price range. And I've really seen a decrease in the amount of buyers looking in that range. I've seen a sharp increase in buyers looking in the lower price points, but at this like middle, I'm going to call it middle income. I know that might be, some of y'all are probably like, dude, that's so expensive for a house. But like here in Williamson County, that's kind of like a typical home price in that range. And you can see, look, this is the opposite. There were 45 new listings in this price point that came on the market, but only 25 were absorbed. So we're starting to see more listings in that price point than are getting absorbed. So that's something we should keep track of. 28 days on market. So they're still moving fairly quickly. And then you've got these top 2 price points right here. And, those seem to still be moving okay. Like a lot of those people have a lot of cash, so the interest rates aren't affecting them. And they have cash because they're selling homes that are more expensive in other areas, and they're able to take that equity out of those homes and pay for these houses here. And you can see at the second one here, 18 new homes, 19 absorbed. On the very top category, 16 new, 19 absorbed. So there you go. That's the active inventory report right there. I think I want to dive in now to the under contract versus active inventory. I think that's an interesting figure to keep track of. And then we'll just look at a little bit of closed data and we'll wrap things up and I'll let you guys go. So, all right, let's see here. I need to change the screen that I'm sharing. Okay, let me make sure. Can you guys see that? I'll make myself smaller. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is actually data from my MLS that I have called RealTracks. I'm sure some of you have heard that. And this data is all from March of 2024. And So it is data in the past, but I still think it's good because the under contract is technically going to be future data once those homes close. So I'm probably confusing you. Sorry about that. So let's just look here. If you look under this, where my mouse is right here, we've got active inventory, the average in the month, and under contract inventory. And when you come over here, you've got March of 2023. There were on average 800 active listings and 783 under contract at the same time. So a little bit more active inventory than under contract inventory. Slide over to this year, and those numbers have actually flip-flopped. And we've got 835 active listings, which is more than the previous year. But we also have more under contract inventory at 846. So the reason this number is important is if we start to see this flip back where we have significantly more active inventory than under contract inventory, we know we're in a buyer's market or heading into a buyer's market. But as you can see right now, that's not the case. And I forgot to mention, although I did at the beginning, the market action index on that previous report showed that we're in a slight seller's market here in Williamson County. And I think this data right here supports that. You kind of see where there's just a few more active listings, or a few more under contract listings than active. So we're still in a slight seller's market here in Williamson County. So I wanted to point that out to you guys. All right, the next thing I just want to let's look at some closed data just because it's fun. And remember, appraisers use the most recent closed data to appraise homes. So it is important. And as real estate agents, we try to get the most recent comps and then take some data like I'm showing you today to figure out a price for a listing. So sold data is important. So let's go down to sale price. You can see the average sale price in March in Williamson County was $1.2 million. The median sale price was $980,000. Both of those were up pretty significantly over the year before. I mean, look at this. The average sale price is up 7% prior to this time last year. The median sale price is up 9% prior to this time last year. That doesn't, like, these numbers, guys, can kind of be played with. And I guess what I mean is that doesn't mean you still can't get a better deal on the same home this year than last year. But on average, you can't. The prices are just higher now. So it's I know a lot of people were hoping for prices to come down. And like, I'm with you. I mean, as a realtor, I'm not always wanting prices to go through the roof. I mean, I want people to be able to buy houses. But right now, I think the lack of inventory and I guess the buyer demand is still up. And it's just keeping those prices propped up and climbing. Days on market for those closed homes actually down 1%, although right here it shows neck and neck with last year, right at 35 days. Isn't that funny? That's how many days that my house was on the market, 35 days. And that happens to be the average list price. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything. There might be like a home that's listed for $15 million right now that's driving that number up. List to contract, contract to close. Month supply is really probably the last thing that I want to share with you guys. And that's up. It says 22%. So in 2023, we had 2.8 months supply. And in 2024, 3.4 months supply. So looks like the month supply of inventory crept up just a little bit in March. So, all right, let me just flip back here. All right, guys. So there you have it. I mean, hopefully that was helpful for you. Some of these numbers can be a little difficult to kind of get through and explain. So I really like to share my screen like that just to make it a little bit easier so you guys can kind of see the data while I'm talking about it. If you're interested in receiving that Altos Research report weekly to your email, just shoot me a text, or you can reach out to me through the contact info in the description below. I can do anything in Williamson County, and I think I can do any city in Middle Tennessee. So if there's another city you're thinking about moving to and you want that data, just let me know. Of course, like my channel, like this video, subscribe, tell your friends. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye.